What up, good people? This is Tony Wiggins here with Locked On Jaguars. The Jaguars have found a way to lose another game. They're 2-6, and we just have to get to the bottom line and just say we don't think that they're elite at quarterback or at anywhere else except they're elite at being terrible. I'll tell you about it here on this postcast in just a second.
You are Locked On Jags, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Thank you for joining me here on Locked On Jaguars postcast special podcast here after another loss by our Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not going to say your Jacksonville Jaguars, our Jacksonville Jaguars. We thank you for making us your first listen and joining us here on Locked On Jaguars, where it's your team every day. We're free on all platforms. And I know I sound sad, but I am a little bit down, but because I'm down because the tenor of and the sound of these podcasts are going to sound very familiar with what they were. And I have been hesitant to do that up until this point. They're terrible. They're elite at being awful, and this is a theme in the Shad Khan during the Shad Khan regime for the Jaguars. I'm going to say something else about a quarterback. I don't think he's ever going to be elite. That doesn't mean he's a bust. I just don't think he's ever going to be elite, and it's because of the decision making at critical times. You know, I go back to when he did some interview and someone said he said something back, like it was like something that you normally don't hear a quarterback say. It was something to the effect of, you know, it's not that big a deal, or football. I don't know what it was. I can't say it verbatim because I don't know exactly. I can't remember what it was. But it's like, you know, there's more important things in life and all of this. And people gave him fits for it. And then other folks came out and defended him. He plays like it's not that big a deal. Just he's become a pick and stick quarterback. There's no anticipation, no anticipatory throws at the most awful time. This team, if they're ever going to be good, they're going to have to surround him with elite talent. And that means you're going to leave that up to Trent Baalke. They're headed towards being the number one pick all over again, I'm telling you, with the way this is going. I don't think they're going to go beat Houston in Houston, and they couldn't beat them here in Jacksonville, right? They also may be the only team I've ever seen in NFL history that has 6 losses all by 1 score. And I know everyone's tired of they're young, they'll figure it out. I know people are really, really sick of hearing that. Josh Allen's supposed to be the lead on the defense. I would field calls. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even wait for calls. I would get on the phone and start calling people on the plane back from London and find out if they want to take him off of the Jaguars' hands, because there's no way he is worth a 5th-year option that they've already committed to, and he damn sure ain't worth a long-term contract. I don't care how nice of a guy. That's not what this is about. This is about, can you do something? You cannot do the things that he's doing on the field. And matter of fact, you can't collect a check and not do the things that and do the things he's not doing. So I did a podcast early this week, and I was saying they have about 5 or 6 guys that have to lead this team. And those 5 or 6 guys have to step to the forefront. And those 5 or 6 guys cannot be the reason why the team loses. Josh Allen was one of the reasons why they lost today, because he didn't do a damn thing. Travis Etienne held up his end of the bargain, 156 yards, the most yards for any running back in their first 3 starts in Jaguars history. Shout out to him. He can play. Trevor threw 2 terrible interceptions, another one from the 1-yard line. And I'm going to put this on Doug Peterson. You got the ball on the 1-yard line. Run it. What are you doing? I know what they're doing. They're coaching these guys as if they're elite. And I remember I said this on the podcast. Coach them like call plays like you have elite players, and if they can't do it, find somebody who will. Your quarterback ain't elite. You can't do that. You cannot put the ball in his hand on the 1-yard line. This is coming right back to sounding like Blake Bortles all over again. He looks like Gabbert, and he plays like Blake. And I don't care about one beautiful throw he made on the go-ahead drive in the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's cool. You got to do that. You got to do that all the time, bro. You cannot be Trevor Lawrence and do those things and think that this team is going to win. And I think the players in the locker room going to start looking around at him. They're going to start looking at him funny. Everybody, I see all of y'all on the live. I'm going to try to read some of these comments. They are coming in fast and furious, but just about all of them say blow it up and trade people. If you're going to start trading people and if you're going to start worrying about draft picks, that's cool. But you better make sure you get rid of that GM before you don't give him nothing. That's like letting a toddler drive an 18-wheeler. You know you're going off the side of the cliff and you're going to be on the side of the road somewhere. It does not matter. Trent Baalke has to go. This team stinks. They ain't got no hind parts on the defensive line. All the guys they spent all that money on in the offseason, ain't none of them doing diddly squat. The cornerback, the defensive tackle, and the linebackers just okay. The next time they cover a tight end is going to be the first time. I don't know who they had at left corner. I thought my auntie was playing left corner the way that dude ran past Trey Herndon. So, look, we're going to get into more of this in depth. I'll read some of these statistics off to you if that's what I don't think y'all here for those stats. Y'all here for some act right and some people to tell you the truth. And this is terrible. And it's terrible because you have higher expectations. Just ain't right, man. And I feel sorry for y'all. I really do. And I hate having to do and talk like this, but it is what it is. We're going to tell the truth. We ain't going to ever sugarcoat nothing here on Locked On Jaguars because that ain't what we do. But I'm telling you, man, this is bad. This is really, really bad. And at the end of the day, it's just a game, but it's terrible. And nobody wants to spend their day. I know all y'all lost some sleep. Y'all got up so early this morning on your day off, and then you have to put up with this stuff. Let me tell you, though, man, today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp Therapy Online. If you've dealt with real life issues and have had some things go wrong, we all have. I'll be transparent. I've had family members who suffer from depression. I have been to therapy for depression. And there's nothing wrong with getting help from someone else. And, you really, really have to sometimes get out of your own way and start getting back to making positive decisions. Everyone deserves to feel their best. BetterHelp makes it easier to get started. As the world's largest therapy service, they've matched millions of people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. All the benefits of in-person therapy, plus more convenient, more accessible, and more affordable. Here's what I need you to do. Get unstuck with BetterHelp. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/lockedon. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. They will be there for you. You can switch therapists anytime you want, but please take advantage of BetterHelp. And I'd like to tell you guys about LinkedIn, man. LinkedIn I have personal experience with how good LinkedIn is. LinkedIn actually helped my daughter find a job. The way she did it, she went on and found a company that was listed on LinkedIn, and they already had their information there. And she has been gainfully employed since she got out of the military. So you can do the same thing as a business owner. What you need to do, man, is go on and use the hiring hashtag on BetterHelp and go to LinkedIn and use the hiring hashtag on LinkedIn. And what will happen is they will line you up with so many people that are out there looking for work. And what you need to do is get those folks on board with you so you come together and to make sure that you hire the right people for your company, like I did when I used it as well. So make sure you go to linkedin.com, use the promo code LOCKEDONNFL, and sign your company up today for 10% off. All right, man, we're going to roll along here. Allergies are killing me, and I know you guys don't care about all of that because y'all are heartbroken right now, and I know it. And the reason why Jaguar fans are heartbroken, and I can see it in the comments, man, is because the expectations were so high, and the expectations for Trevor Lawrence were so high. And you probably have come to the realization now, and I was hesitant to do this for so long. You've come to the realization now that he's just not elite. And I don't think he's going. Somebody says trade Jawan Taylor for a wide receiver. I wouldn't trade Jawan Taylor. Why would you trade Jawan Taylor when Jawan Taylor, my man Josh said that Jawan Taylor's he was one of the best things I saw on the field today. He's not the one. Cam Robinson is the problem today. Cam Robinson had 2 critical holding penalties. And one thing this team cannot do is get behind on the sticks. He was one of those other people, one of those elite people that I wanted. Brandon Sheriff had a holding penalty. Look, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I get it. But you just don't expect. You just don't expect, man. You really don't expect the top players on this team to constantly come up short at critical moments. Shout out to Travis Etienne for giving folks a little bit of hope today, and knowing that he can be. And they ran the ball more, so we can't get mad, right? They ran the ball more. They gave that kid the ball, and he had 156 yards rushing. That's the only reason they were able to get back into the game and score that game-winning touchdown. Oh, that game, the touchdown that actually put them ahead. So, Trevor, this thing about Trevor is alarming, bro. It is, because I know it's caught everyone by surprise. Like, he doesn't lift them beyond whether you always talk about. Folks always say about playing beyond the X's and O's. He doesn't lift them above the status quo. He doesn't lift them beyond where they are. He doesn't really make them better. You almost think you'd be better off with somebody like Kirk Cousins at this point than him. And it's disheartening because he's such a likable kid and he's easy to like. But like I said, liking somebody ain't got nothing to do with this, or how nice someone is has nothing to do with this. Now that he has a propensity to make those boneheaded decisions and mistakes, the one at the end, whatever. I'm talking about that one at the beginning. The Jaguars, there's a blueprint for them to win, right? And it's a very small window. And what it is, they have to get ahead of the sticks so they can start releasing some pass rushes, some blitzing, right? And they can play a little coverage on the back end and keep everything in front of them. That's it. They could have been up 14-0 in this game. They totally dominated the first quarter of the game. And then what happens? Trevor just goes out there from the 1 yard. First of all, Doug shouldn't have called the play. He has to realize he can't do that with this kid no more. You can't. You absolutely can't. Scott Swayze asked this question: do you bring in a quarterback to compete for the job next year? That's a big decision they're going to have to make. Before they make that choice, they need to change the person who's going to help make that decision. Y'all don't want Trent Baalke. I don't care what we do next year or how many draft picks we get or who we trade. You do not want him to be your GM and be responsible for making better choices for this franchise. You don't. So what I'm going to do, man, is this. I'm going to look through the comments and I'm going to take the best questions and I'm going to answer some of those tough questions tomorrow. We're going to talk about what they need to do right now. It's not going to turn it around, but what they need to do right now to reboot and boot this thing up going forward. I'm telling you, man, it is absolutely a miserable time. I never thought a one-score loss would do this, but we've had 6 of them now. They can't get right. They cannot get out of their own way. Ray Bethel, you said we had Kirk Cousins and his Gardner Minshew. He wasn't the answer either. I'm sorry. We need everything. The Jaguars need another corner. You tell me that Trayvon Walker got a sack, Tyson Campbell got a pick, and ETN at 156 yards. I would tell you that the Jaguars won the game. But once again, they don't. They lose. 21-17 lost to Denver. They fall to 2-6. And I think it's going to get much worse before it gets better. Tune in to Locked On Jaguars tomorrow. And we're gonna go through it, man, and we're gonna kumbaya our way through this thing together, all right? Until then, you guys take care. Try to take care of each other. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful Sunday. Get you some soul food in you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.